This is Unit 1, Week 3, What Brought the Revolution to an End? Yorktown. Why is it an important battle in American history? It's where the British surrender. An army surrenders, just like at Saratoga. It doesn't mean the war had to end, but this effectively resulted in the end of the American Revolution. The British basically march wherever they feel like it, because if they need to move troops, they land at the coast. Their naval boats pick their armies up and move them somewhere else. So the British are controlling the cities, controlling wherever. The Americans in the South are chasing them, literally chasing them. The British retreat out to the end of a peninsula in Yorktown, or where Williamsburg is today. It sounds stupid, go out the end of a peninsula, but remember, they don't fear anything, because there's no way they can get trapped in the water because the Americans don't have a real navy. Anyways, because of the French alliance, there's a small window of opportunity when the French Navy is returning from the Caribbean back to France. And they're authorized, Admiral de Grasse, to spend a few weeks, slight detour to mess with their traditional enemy, the British. So the Americans under Washington, along with the French under Rochambeau, and there are twice as many French as there are British North Americans in Washington's army, are fighting against the British, and remember there are loyalists, large number of American colonists fighting for Britain. Anyways, they meet at the end of the peninsula. They're surrounded, but they meet there and time it just as the French Navy has arrived to harass the British Navy, engaging them offshore so that Washington's army can surround the British at the end of a peninsula. And they lead to a siege until Yorktown and Lord Cornwallis surrenders. And famously, he's too embarrassed to accept the defeat ceremoniously the next day. He claims he's ill, so he cannot meet Washington to surrender his sword. So Cornwallis sends his second in command, so Washington sends his second in command, actually named Lincoln, not Abraham. And they meet, and the famous song that's playing is "The World Turned Upside Down," because this is sort of symbolic of the little upstart thug Americans. Could Britain have kept fighting? Absolutely. There's an entire other army and navy sitting in New York. The British could have sent more. But effectively they decided, enough of this struggle, enough of this, and there aren't any more major battles after this. It sort of results in the end of the war. 2 years later, 1783, they signed the Treaty of Paris. And in the Treaty of Paris, Britain agrees to recognize a newly independent United States. This new United States has, the Mississippi River as its western border, and the St. Lawrence River and the Great Lakes essentially is its northern border, and Britain agrees to allow this new little unit to exist. And that's the establishment of the United States as a nation. Anyways, thanks for joining the Happy House of History. That's how I see it from some dude in a Hawaiian shirt.